Hey everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome. I'm so excited that you're here today. We are going to make this super cute little Christmas card. And I just had to use this teddy bear stamp, and that's why I'm making a Christmas card so early. Oh, well, there's other reasons. The other reasons are that, let's face it, it takes forever when you hand make cards, right? So I'm using the cookie cutter Christmas set and the Holly Berry Happiness bundle, and those are the two stamp sets that are my accent stamp sets for this card, because I'm also using the Merry Medley stamp set, which you can see is fabulous. So the whole point of this video was to show you all the amazing things that you can do with a background stamp, specifically one geared just towards Christmas. I thought that would be so much fun. So I'm inking the devil out of this little guy here using Versamark ink. And I have a piece of Always Artichoke cardstock cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm going to lay it down on top of my background stamp that I've just inked. I'm using my embossing buddy there, and that prevents embossing powder from sticking to the cardstock, so in places that it's not supposed to. So I'm laying it down, and then I'm going to take my grid paper that I just had. Stampin' Up! Sells this awesome grid paper. I love it. I use it all the time as a way to clean up messes, prevent messes. It's fantastic. Okay, so now I've got this super sticky Versamark ink all over this piece of cardstock. Here's what we're going to do next. This is tricky. This is a tricky trick. I call this spotlight embossing. I have no idea if anybody else has ever done this. I'm sure that they have. This has got to be the most foolish thing I think I've ever done, because it's such a mess, but I thought it was so cool that I had to try. So I die cut a circle out of the center of another piece of cardstock you see here, and I laid it over the top of what I had already Versamark inked. Okay? So just that circle is exposed. Then, with the utmost precision, no, not really. There's no precision involved in this. It's literally just trying to be super careful and lift the cardstock completely flat. And I want you to see the trick. Ready? Ready, set, go. You have to, like, super fast, as if you were one of those people pulling the tablecloth out from under all of the dishes. And then you can see that it still gets everywhere. So then the next step is you have to take a paintbrush, and you have to go around and you have to start sweeping away all the areas that it shouldn't have gotten on. Now, when I first start sweeping it away, you're going to think, oh, you're just making this a bigger mess. It's not going to work. But I'm telling you, trust me here. Just stick with me, and you're going to see how amazing this ends up being. Now, here's the scoop. I thought, okay, now what if I tried this with masking paper? What if I took a piece of sticky masking paper, cut a hole in it, laid it down on top of this, put my embossing powder on, flipped it over, and then pulled the masking paper off? I wonder how that would work. Well, let me tell you how it works. It's as big of a mess, if not worse. And it messed up some of my stamping. So it didn't work for me, people. Now, maybe that's the masking paper that I was using. I don't know. It could have been. But it just simply did not work. So this is what I'm going to call spotlight embossing. And so the point of this is that the entire background image is one solid image, but there's one small area that I focused on to heat emboss, and it draws your attention to that area. It's just beautiful. I just absolutely love how it turns out. So now you see I kind of have a circle here. And there's a few areas that it might be a little going out of the circle-ish shape, but for the most part, it's a circle and it looks really good. And when you add all the other elements, you really can't tell that there's little areas that might not be perfect. So I'm taking my heat tool and I'm going to heat set this embossing powder. Now, what happens with paper when you heat set it, if you're not careful, and I wasn't, is it warps. It starts bending and moving. I tried to hold it down and heat set straight on top of it. That was a mistake. I never do that. I don't know why I did it in this video. If you hold your paper up and you hit it with the heat tool and remove the heat tool. Hit it with the heat tool, remove the heat tool. It will help keep your paper from warping. But I have a fix for that because I've warped a lot of paper in my life, folks. And so I know how to fix warped paper when I'm putting it down on a card, and I'm going to show you that. Okay, so we're getting this all heat set, and at the end of this video, I'm going to be showing you all of the other cards that I created. I sat down and I just went to town with this Medley stamp set, making different backgrounds. I had a ball. I spent half the day doing it, and it was just fantastic. I loved it. I highly recommend picking up this background stamp because there's so many things that you can do with it. If you are a customer of mine, you know that if you use the host code and place an order of $50 or more, then you get free card kits from me. Okay, let's skip back to the stamping here. You see what I did? I inked up my stamp and I stamped it twice. I'm going to make 2 sets of bears. So here's his ears. I'm stamping it once, nice and dark, and then when I stamp it again, it's nice and light. The lighter bear is the bear that I want to use because I feel like it goes better with my colors. But I'm going to save the darker bear because I definitely want to make up some other card using that one. So then I went full power on his eyes, nose, and mouth on the same ink. So this is the beauty of generation stamping. You see that little bear now has been stamped with the exact same ink, but he looks like he's 2 different colors, right? So that's the power of an ink pad. I'm telling you, it's amazing. And if I would have stamped off one more time, it would have been even that much lighter. Okay, so now I'm going to hand cut this out, and you don't want to see that. So I'm going to do magic, and I'm going to edit all of the hand cutting out part out because you don't want to see it. So I'm done hand cutting him out. And now I am going to show you, see how that's warped? Here's my fix for warped paper. It's called dimensional tape, people. It is quite possibly the best thing in my craft room next to my scissors. It's not even, I don't think it's meant for crafting, frankly. I think that it's meant for some sort of like putting stuff on walls or something like that. It's super powerful. I get it on Amazon. I learned to use this through lots of different other card makers that I watch. A lot of demonstrators won't use anything but Stampin' Up product. Here's my theory on that. I absolutely love Stampin' Up products. Their stamps, their inks, all of it. I love it. I can't get enough of it. However, they simply don't make everything I need. I need dimensional tape in my life, folks. I've got to have it in my life. So that's it. I have to purchase it from Amazon because Stampin' Up doesn't make it. If Stampin' Up starts making it, I'm sold. I'm done. I'll buy theirs. Okay, so these are my little holly berries. Now here's the scoop. The reason you're not seeing me stamp these and all this good stuff, punch them out of the punch, is simply because I made this card prior to this video, okay? Because I always make a practice card because I am not good enough to sit down on video with you and just wing it. That's not in my DNA. I'm not good enough at it. I have to practice a card first before I show it to you because I want to bring you quality. That's important to me. So what I did is I had sat there and stamped and punched a whole bunch of these because my original idea was to make like a wreath going around the spotlight area that I heat embossed, but it looked awful. So I said, well, that's not going to work because it looks stupid. So instead, I ended up with just 2 little hollyberry clusters like you see here that's happening now. The hollyberry stamp set and punch gives you 2 sizes. You have the larger hollyberry size and then the smaller one. So it's perfect if you do 2 and then 1 in the middle. And then you stick the little berries on. And then I've got my sweet little teddy bear that's just going to get popped up on Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, which I love because you know me, I've got to have dimension on my cards. I have to. Very unusual for me to make a completely flat card. It's very hard for me. Unless I'm doing a bunch of Copic coloring or something like that, then I can hang. But otherwise, I like the dimension. So I'm peeling off the backing here of my dimensionals. I'm going to stick that little bear down. And then I'm going to show you all these other cards that I made. And um, I have to say, this was my favorite, and my mom was here when I was making all these cards, and this was her favorite card too. So she voted for this card as her favorite card, and then this was my favorite. I just love the colors, and there's some about it that feels so, I don't know, Christmas, but like vintage Christmas. And that makes me excited because I'm not very good at doing vintage anything. So I thought it was kind of cool. And then there's all these little individual berries. It's hard for you to see in the video, but they are real red, and then they are stamped with cherry cobbler ink to give the definition of the berry. So I did this, and I put them on here looking like how you would put a sequin. It was a fail, people. That's all I'm going to say. I don't like it. I don't like how it looked. It was not great. But in my head, before I did it, I thought, oh, that would be cute. Have little berries just kind of randomly throughout this card. Maybe you'll like it. I don't know. You let me know. You comment below and you let me know if you like it or not. But it wasn't for me. I wasn't happy with it after I did it. But then I was stuck. And if I took them off, then I would have had a weird spot on my card. And so I ended up with the berries. So the original card design for this was much better. I'm going to show it to you right now. So here it is. So you see he has that big bow tie, which is just the cutest thing you've ever seen. And then no random berries all over the place. Okay, here's the other cards I made. So you see that Noel going all down the side in red glimmer. That is from the background stamp. Then we did this one in copper embossing powder. And then I did this one. This is my California Christmas card. Love it. Had to do something to represent California. I had to. If you look over on my blog, you are going to see several more background ideas. Okay? All right. If you want to see more videos from me, you can click on either of the videos that you see here. You can click on the little round circle that is my face to subscribe to my channel. I would love it if you would give me a thumbs up on my video. And leave me a comment below if you like this card. Stay tuned tomorrow. Big news. Bye-bye.